Hello my dear students, welcome back to the classes on SO2 Ways with Words. We were talking about the short story The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry, and we saw that Della wanted to buy a gift for Jim and she had only $1.87, which was not sufficient to buy any gift. Hence, she decided to sell her hair and buy a good gift with the money she would get. And she got $20 for her hair, and she bought a platinum fob chain to be used for Jim's watch in place of the old leather strap that he used. And Jim was dumbstruck upon seeing Della. His eyes were fixed upon Della, and there was an expression in them that she could not read. So let's see the remaining story. Jim, and let's be happy. You don't know what a beautiful, nice gift I have got for you. So Della is saying that, Jim, please, let's be happy. And I have bought a beautiful, very beautiful, nice gift for you. So please be happy. You have cut off your hair? Asked Jim laboriously, as if he had not arrived at that patent fact yet, even after the hardest mental labor. So Jim can't believe that Della had cut her hair. So he is asking again, with great effort, that you have cut off your hair. Della, you have cut off your hair. Cut it off and salt it, said Della. Don't you like me just as well? Anyhow, I am me without my hair, ain't I? So Della is saying, I cut it off and sold it. And don't you like me? Same. Anyhow, I am me without my hair, ain't I? So don't you like me like this? Jim looked about the room curiously. You say your hair is gone, he said with an air almost of idiocy. Idiocy means foolishness. So he is asking again, you say your hair is gone. You needn't look for it, said Della. So Jim is looking around the room. So Della is saying, there is no need for looking around the room. It sold, it has sold. I tell you, sold and gone too. It's Christmas Eve, boy. Be good to me, for it went for you. Maybe the hairs of my head were numbered, she went on with sudden serious sweetness. But nobody could ever count my love for you. Shall I put the chops on, Jim? So Della is saying, it's day before Christmas, so be happy to me, be good to me, because I have cut my hair for you, and nobody could ever count my love for you. So shall I put the chops on, Jim? So here Della is saying that no need for looking or talking about the lost hair. So Della, when Jim stood to look at her, Della affectionately asked Jim not to look at her that way. She informed him that she had had her hair cut off and sold it, and she assured him that it would grow out again. And she asked him not to mind her cutting the hair because she had to do it. And in spite of all her explanations, Jim again asked her with difficulty whether she had cut off her hair. Della repeated that she had cut her hair off and sold it. She asked whether he didn't like her in spite of it, and she asserted that she was the same Della even without her hair. Jim, with an air almost of idiocy, asked again whether her hair was gone, and Della said with emphasis that her hair was truly sold and gone. She asked him not to look for it. She pleaded, requested him to be good to her because it was Christmas Eve, and she pointed out that her hair was gone for his sake. And then she inquired whether she put the chops on. Out of his trance, Jim seemed quickly to wake. He unfolded his Della for 10 seconds. Let us regard with discreet scrutiny some inconsequential object in the other direction. $8 a week or a million a year. What is the difference? A mathematician or a wit would give you the wrong answer. The Magi brought valuable gifts, but that was not among them. This dark assertion will be illuminated later on. So, Jim was in a unconscious state. So, out of his trance, Jim seemed quickly to wake. So, he came out of that state and he unfolded his Della. Enfolded means engulfed his wife. And for 10 seconds, let's regard with discreet scrutiny. Discreet scrutiny means careful observation, some inconsequential object in the other direction. And the question is $8 a week or a million a year. What is the difference? So here it means that the cost of the flat doesn't matter as long as the people who live there love each other very much. So in spite of their strained financial condition, Della and Jim were truly rich because they had a lot of love for each other and were ready to sacrifice their most prized possessions for each other. Jim drew a package from his overcoat pocket and threw it upon the table. "Don't make any mistake, Dell," he said, "about me. I don't think there is anything in the way of a haircut or a shave or a shampoo that could make me like my girl any less. But if you will unwrap that package, you may see why you had me going a while at first." So Jim brought a package from his overcoat pocket and threw it upon the table. So Jim also got a gift for Della. So and he's saying that don't make any mistake, don't make any mistake about me, because when you will open that package, you will understand that. So I don't care whether you have got hair or not. That's not my problem. I love you. That's all. But if you will unwrap that package, you may see why you had me going a while at first. So Della is going to open her gift. White fingers and nibble tore at the string and paper, and then an ecstatic scream of joy, and then, alas, a quick feminine change to hysterical tears and wails, necessitating the immediate employment of all the comforting powers of the lord of the flat. So Della began to open her gift, and upon seeing the gift, there was an ecstatic scream of joy. Yes, there was an excitement, and when Della saw Jim's gift to her, but immediately there was a quick change to hysterical tears and wails. Hysterical tears and wails means crying, because when Della saw that gift, she could not express her emotions. She was very excited and emotional. So she began to cry, and she had hysterical tears and wails. Let's see what was the gift. For there lay the combs, the set of combs side and back that Della had worshipped long in a Broadway window. Beautiful combs, pure tortoise shell, with jewel rims, just the shade to wear in the beautiful vanished hair. They were expensive combs, she knew, and her heart had simply craved and yearned over them without the least hope of possession. And now they were hers, but the tresses that should have adorned the coveted adornments were gone. So what was the gift? Gift was the combs, the set of combs. Please note that, it's very important. So Jim gifted Della a set of combs, side and back, and that gift was worshipped by Della long in a Broadway window. They were beautiful combs, pure tortoise shell, with jewel rims. They were pure original tortoise shell, and they were adorned with jewel rings, just the shade to wear in the beautiful vanished hair. Here, vanished hair means Della's hair. They were expensive combs, she knew, and her heart had simply curved and yearned over them without the least hope of possession. She never imagined that she could own that combs because it was very expensive. And now they were hers, and now they were in the hands of Della. But the tresses means hairs that should have adorned. Adorn means decorated, the coveted adornments, decorations. Here it is hair that were gone. So what was the use of combs now? Because the tresses, because the hair that should have decorated with that combs have gone. But she hugged them to her bosom, and at length she was able to look up with dim eyes and a smile and say, "My hair grows so fast, Jim." But she hugged them to her bosom. Bosom means chest, and at length looked up with dim eyes and a smile, and assured Jim that her hair would grow very fast. And then Della leaped up like a single little singed cat and cried, "Oh, oh!" So Della forgot to give her present to Jim. So she began to cry like a cat. "Oh, oh!" Jim had not yet seen his beautiful present. She held it out to him eagerly upon her open palm. The dull, precious metal seemed to flash with a reflection of her bright and ardent spirit. So now Della was in a bright and ardent spirit. So she held the gift out to him eagerly upon her open palm. And Jim is going to open that gift. "Isn't it a dandy, Jim? I hunted all over town to find it. You will have to look at the time 100 times a day now. Give me your watch. I want to see how it looks on it." So Della is asking Jim to give his watch. She want to see how this gift will look on his watch. Instead of obeying, Jim tumbled down on the couch and put his hands under the back of his head and smiled. "Dell," said he, "let's put our Christmas presents away and keep them a while. They are too nice to use just at present. I sold the watch to get the money to buy your combs, and now suppose you put the chops on." So Jim is saying to Della that, "Okay, let's put our Christmas presents away now. Keep them away, keep them a while, because they are too nice to use just at present. At present we cannot use that, because I sold the watch to get your hair combs. So I cannot use the gift you have given me. So similarly, the gift I have given to you is also useless. So we can keep our Christmas presents for a while, because they cannot use at present." So the Magi, as you know, were wise men, wonderfully wise men, who brought gifts to the babe in the manger. They invented the art of giving Christmas presents. Being wise, their gifts were no doubt wise ones, possibly bearing the privilege of exchange in case of duplication. And here I have lamely related to you the uneventful chronicle of two foolish children in a flat who most unwisely sacrificed for each other the greatest treasures of their house. But in a last word to the wise of these days, let it be said that of all who give gifts, these two were the wisest. Of all who give and receive gifts, such as they are wisest. Everywhere they are wisest. They are the Magi. So the writer, O. Henry, is saying that the Magi were wise men. We know that they were wise men. So the Magi brought gifts on their own out of love for their Lord. They brought wonderful gifts which could possibly be exchanged in case of duplication. Della and Jim too brought gifts for each other, sacrificing their own precious possessions in the process. Their gifts are greater than those of the Magi because they cannot be exchanged. The gifts of Della and Jim are compared to those of the Magi. The Magi were the three wise men who brought gifts to the newborn Jesus. This showed their love and reverence for the newborn. Likewise, Jim and Della took risk when they sold the most precious possessions they had in order to show their love for each other. In fact, the writer O. Henry describes them as the wisest of all those who give and receive gifts, as they gave up the only prized possessions they had. They are fit to be described as the Magi. Yes, all who give gifts, these two were the wisest. Of all who give and receive gifts, such as they are wisest. Everywhere they are wisest, they are the Magi. So the writer O. Henry describes Jim and Della as the Magi, the wise men. So let's wind up here. In the next class, we will have an analysis of the short story. Thank you.